Hello, welcome to another episode of Daily Market Mastery with me, Rauchenwald, on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope you all had a great start into the new week. As always, before we jump into the markets of my portfolio, let's get the usual disclaimer out of the way first. Everything that I share in this live stream/video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. Besides that, all the tools that I'm using, so the broker, the charting software, the strategy I'm following, and so on, are all linked in the video description down below. And the one thing I truly recommend is that if you haven't done so, go and check out the Elliott Wave principle, so the strategy that I'm following, by using the link in the description below, because this allows you to actually read the book online for free. Now, with that said, we can jump into my portfolio. Hi, Olga, great to have you here. I haven't had time to reply to your messages yet on Discord, as you noticed. Not sure if I will get to it during the stream, but I appreciate that you shared your expectations for Barnes & Noble and so on. And yeah, so we have another break even starting to the day. Nothing changed in terms of our holdings, so we still hold 600 GameStop shares, against which we have 6 covered calls sold with the $30 strike price and expiration in January. And we have our usual exposure in cost, Neo, Immersion, Barnes & Noble Education, Novavax, and Grab. And I think the only thing, not worth mentioning, but the only thing that happened was yesterday we got a surprise upwards movement. No problem. Then if you leave early, I wish you a pleasant rest of the day. But yeah, so in GameStop, it got there was a surprising, semi-surprising upwards movement. I pointed out yesterday that while I believe that Wave B might have finished here, because we hit the minimum target with that movement, it is possible that we get another move upwards. So I just was a little bit too hasty here, and the other target area would be the 100% target area here. So theoretically, this move here. Actually, I was a little bit too ignorant there, if I now think about it or not. Like, so if we have a flat correction here, Wave B always retraces at least 90%, so between 90 and 138. So I probably was too hasty here and ignored that rule in quotes. Oh, that I don't want to move. Back you go. Because, now come on. If this is indeed our Wave A down, yeah. So we said 138% and 90 are the levels, so that we have as a retracement. And we didn't hit, so actually, yeah, I should have known yesterday already, or not yesterday, but whichever day before I mentioned that I believe that we have our Wave B finished here because we reached the minimum target. But if it's a flat correction, no, wait, now I'm confusing myself here. So if we have a flat correction, actually the first wave would need to be a corrective pattern, which means we're going to have to zoom in here a little bit to try to figure this out. Yeah? So 1 hour chart, a lot more candles to work with, and total chaos visibly. Yeah? Visually, this here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe this is wave 5. Otherwise, this here is wave 4. Although we have a 3-wave move nicely here, yeah? And that here does not look, that looks more like 3 waves, potential 5 waves. For that, we would have to look closer, yeah? So we have 1, 2, 3. Considering all the movements that we had here, I do not, especially since we went lower here, so I don't think that's the end of the correction because we went lower here. 1, 2, 3. Question is this 4 and 5? I don't think so, but theoretically, if it's an ending diagonal, then this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish Wave A down here. Personally, I believe that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 would need to be a leading diagonal then. But if it's a leading diagonal, it's not a corrective pattern, and then it cannot be a flat correction. And then that would need to be our wave 5, which is a little bit tricky, to be honest, because it would need to be it would need to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think there are some Yeah, let's remove a bunch of things right now to try to see where I got it wrong. Yeah, so potentially this is our wave A. Yeah, so I originally believed that this is our, but then that low here doesn't make sense. Okay, that cannot be our wave A. Come on. A, B, C, A, B, C, A, okay, let's see if we get a clear. I hate corrections, by the way. Yeah, clearly we have a 5-wave move up right now, by the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's wave 5. So yeah, I know we're jumping ahead, but just because I notice it, so we can see 1, 2, and then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We bounce exactly at the 261.8. It's just surprising how often that's the case, which means right now this move here has a profit target at in the area of 1356 to 3141. Yeah, so I think that overlaps. Oh, here we can get rid of everything but the 200 levels. Yeah, so that we don't clutter the chart too much. And yeah, so 200, sorry, 300 can also disappear. There we go. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we should get wave 5, where we have 1, 2, 3 in progress, 4 and 5. So we'll finish somewhere here and then potentially get the next retracement. Yeah. Now visually, if we zoom out, it just gets again too cluttered. God, that's like a pain in the ass to label. I hate corrections. Yeah. And the tricky part is the candle by the earnings, I guess. Yeah. So I said, visually, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here for wave A. Yeah. Now, unless wave 4 isn't finished here. Yeah. So, okay, let's see if we, on a 30-minute chart, hourly chart, do we on one chart get any kind of help here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. Could be, but unlikely. So we don't bounce here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we would have that candle here ruins it, like similar to what we had in Bitcoin. But although in Bitcoin we actually still found the solid labeling. So okay, so the hourly chart would suggest 5 waves down here. Although Kennedy channeling technique will probably not support that, or would it? So if we take our point 1, our point 3, parallel through what we perceive as point 2. Oh no, it does. We have a breakout here to confirm we're in wave 4, and then, yeah, so Kennedy channeling technique would also support the idea that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, which makes this an impulse, which means we should be looking at a zigzag or a combination, but the beginning should be a zigzag, which means it should be followed by any corrective pattern. So this would need to be a flat. Let's see if we can make that work. God, I hate corrections. And in a zigzag, 40% of the time, wave B will be a flat. And in a flat, we would accept, as we talked earlier, we would expect a retracement of 90 to 138%, which we obviously have here. So if we just get rid of up and then say 90 and 138, then we can see obviously that we retrace more than 90 here. So wave A, wave B would subdivide into any correction like A, B, C that I can believe based on the look. It's not super nice. And then wave C is usually between, so there we need an expansion from 100 to 165. Yeah, but that actually works out as well. Yeah. So if we now add an expansion here, so because it's based on wave A, if that's our wave A in that move here, and we say 100 to 165, we don't need the zero line, then we obviously are within the requirements here to make this here. Do we have a tools, Elliott Wave? I'm not sure if we have a separate. No, we just have correction. We don't have. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I set A, B, and C as a flat correction. Then we would have basically now expect an impulse or a leading diagonal. Or no, impulse and ending diagonal. Which means it's a little tricky. Huh. Yeah, I'm kind of getting stuck here. Yeah, like so because while we have nice 5 waves down here, this here is a mess, but would work out as a flat correction. But if this is a 5 wave move followed by a flat, followed by it would need to be an impulse or a leading diagonal, and it would need to be in 82% of cases it would need to be an impulse. But if that's an impulse, then basically this would need to be wave 1. This is 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves for wave 2. But then we could not go higher than 29. No, what's the high here? 31. Yeah, so we could not go. We can actually. So we could not break that line that we're going to break in 2 cents. Yeah. So even if it's not like this, because we can see that here yeah, there we go. There we break it. So because then wave C should take us further down and not further up. And if that would be wave 1 down, having a hard time with this correction. What seemed so clear and logical just a day ago now seems so weird. Now that we went higher here, this would mean potentially that somehow that's how it's going to play out. A, B, and C. So point B would be then back there. But it doesn't make sense. So this whole mess here, especially with that candle here, just makes it a horrid mess to label. I think we're gonna have to wait, I have to take a note so that I don't forget. Even if we break this level here, A, B, but that also doesn't make sense. Oh God, yeah, Elliott Wave Theory. I love it and I hate it. So I hate the corrections. I love the impulses. Although the corrections are part of the impulses. So I mean, we broke that level already. So okay, so If we use Kennedy channeling technique, technically the breakout here might indicate that we are in wave 5 already. But if we are in wave 5, I actually thought that our correction would be longer. And if we were to be in wave 5, then this would need to be the end of our correction. And this would be the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tricky. Tricky. I'm open for it. Yeah, you say skip it. Yeah, but it would be nice to know where I'm wrong here. Yeah. The issue is that, I mean, unless we get a strong move down, then I could just say A, whatever B and C. But I would like to be able to label it. Anyway, yeah, like you said, let's move on. We can circle back then. So Barnes & Noble Education Inc. Keeps moving up. Visually, we have to consider it's possible. I'm not saying that I like it or so, and we will get a warning because I'm having an impulse select. Let's actually remove this and just select the right tool. Tools, Elliott Wave, leading diagonal. Yeah, almost. Tools, Elliott Wave, leading diagonal. So possible that this here is already a 5-wave move. I mean, we have here a nice line. However, the 5th wave should go higher in that case. It should be somewhere here, yeah. I'm not a fan of that idea, so although we bounced here on the assumption if this would be wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5, we reached the minimum target and then bounced at the usual maximum target at 1440. Actually, yeah, plus minus 1 cent, that we exceeded it. We also hit the minimum target under the assumption of this being an ABC corrective pattern, although we should make a new high, and a new high would be based on 1439. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I don't believe that the upwards momentum is over because that does not look like nice 5 waves, yeah. But in theory, it would be, if this is just a corrective move before we go down further, in theory, it would be possible, yeah. I mean, I'm going to hold our position. Our average is around 1040 or so. Yeah, we had some early entries here, and then entries here, here, and here. So, but our average is still around 1040, so we're gonna hold that. I don't think if we look closer, maybe we get a clearer pattern. No, like we're on the 12-hour chart because everything below has like those artifacts, so candles that don't contribute to the pattern. So even on the 12-hour chart, actually, we still get them. So. Yeah, it's also, that would need to be a corrective move because this candle here went lower than this one. Up, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not happy with the overall look here. Yeah, I still believe there's more upside to come, but right now would be the time to start to become vigilant. Maybe add a trailing stop, or if you bought in below 9 something, 938, 940, put the stop loss here. So to basically, if it turns out to be some, but we went higher here. So this is 5 waves, which means we could get a correction. So never mind that. I think we'll go further up, but short term, there could be a correction possible. Unfortunately, this pattern here is also a huge mess. While we had an easy time labeling this entire part here, labeling this here right now is, yeah, like not so easy, especially not labeling it confidently. So we'll have to move on from here as well. Immersion going up, yeah. So I mean, there I said, yeah, we'll don't manage today. I expect to get 5 waves up, but we'll have to double check our previous labeling. So in terms of, is this candle, for example, a fluke, or does it really exist? Is this in some form 1, 2, or is this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, and so on? So we'll have to re-verify the previous history, but from the looks of it, we have a 3-wave corrective pattern that bottomed here and is now going to be followed by the next 5 waves up. Yeah, costs unchanged. Yeah, like I wonder how long it's going to take to break this top or the bottom here to confirm us. Either way, Neo becomes tricky now. I really didn't expect that we would retrace that far. I'm fairly certain that we finished our correction here, but then we should see the next 5 waves up, followed by a correction. And this correction is already quite dangerous. If we break the 428, then I probably got something wrong, and we'll have to revisit it. It's not a great stream full of successful labelings, I notice, yeah. And yeah, like also no clear. I mean, if we're moving closer, there we get the same problem. We get those. No, Neo we actually still have wiggle room, so there's a little bit more. No, they're also like, yeah. Tricky. Might be that we have something like, no, there we have a 3 wave move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave 5, something like this. So that's okay, and then there should be a correction, yeah. So it should. I think based on everything that the bottom here in quotes should hold, yeah. I mean, we would only get out if we break the low here, with a 25% loss or so. So, but yeah, not great today. Novavax, yeah, we'll see. I think again that there's a strong upward push coming. Doesn't help me much with my January 17th options, but yeah. And yeah, Bitcoin keeps going up. As said, our profit target is at 120,000 for this move to finish. Let's see if it will come to this. Here we actually have a nice flat correction, yeah, that was relatively easy to label. XYO potentially finished wave 4 here, but again, I mentioned that I expect the potential further move down first. So A, B, C, A, B, no, A, B, and C. Could be that we're done here with the correction, yeah. But I think we'll get another push. XRP should not do what it did here. No, that's actually still fine. We didn't make a new high. If we break the 290.48, then we actually in for the potential this level here. So for another 50% upside before we get a correction. Yeah. Otherwise, we would need to move sideways and get a breakout here, and on the weekly chart that can take some time. We'll have to keep an eye on that one as well. Storage should slowly move up to the 80-cent mark, unchanged. HNT, yeah, up. And that's that. Nvidia is now down from where it was originally. Oh yeah, now we start talking here, yeah. So potential good entry point already. So we're in the area where we reached the minimum target for the correction, and our in quotes maximum target will be here. I would consider, if I would have the spare cash right now, to enter at the 50% or 61.8% retracements. Small entries now already possible, because it's also possible that it turns out that we bounce on the 38.2, but I would not haste. So rather wait and risk getting it in a little bit higher and later than yeah, like being too overexcited and jumping in here just to see it to go here first. SMCI, as predicted, at least something going down. Yeah, so that apparently was the ABC move that we expected. And yeah, we should now go further down. And yeah, I think we'll call it a day here. I'm a little bit off of my game, to be honest, right now. So especially GameStop is like throwing me loops. Like we bounce here nicely on the 100% target. I mean, that candle for the earnings ruins it. Otherwise, I would say A, B, C, and now we get a wave down. So maybe, so even so on an 8-hour chart, or ABC. So, but then that candle is a fluke, yeah. So A, B, A, B. I mean, this here's a nice 5-wave move like we saw, yeah? So where we have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 hits our usual target, wave 4, and wave 5 now apparently turns around at the exact 100% target. The good news is we will know in probably a day, because if I'm wrong and this is not gonna be like this, yeah. I mean, I called it too early that I said that the correction might have finished here, but I also pointed out that it's possible that we have another push up, in which case this would be A, B, C. So this would need to be the flat correction. So yeah, so that might actually be what happened here. So I'm right. I just got confused with that extra move that I mentioned yesterday already. Either way, we should know by tomorrow or at least by the end of the week, because if I'm wrong, then we'll stick in this area and push higher. Then at some point, it's clear that I'm wrong and the correction is really finished here. And if I'm right, then from here we would get if this is wave A, yeah, the earnings candle is super annoying. Yeah, we would get a push down to potentially. Oh, wrong, not this one. I wanted to change that one. Yeah, so we can see that the 61.8, depending on where, if we call our wave A here, it's like this. If we assume that this here is some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagonal, then and that would need to be then A, B, and C. How would the expansion for that look if that's A, B? Yeah, then we're also within our target area. So on one hand, we hit the wave 5 target for this 5-wave move. Although if that's A, B, then that would need to be, okay, that could be a 3-wave move where that also subdivides as A, B, C. Yeah, so when we're within that overlap, yeah. I hate corrections. I mentioned it earlier, but yeah. I wish like, yeah, I wish corrections would be easier, but if it would be that easy, then everybody would do it and master the markets, yeah. Overall, of course, I prefer that we stay below 30, especially till January, so my options expire worthless. But, oh, sorry. Let's actually ask the magic 8 ball. Yeah, like what do we ask it? Have I labeled it correctly? Yeah? So, dear magic 8 ball, have I labeled it correctly? Most likely. Okay, that's what I want to hear. Again, I'm sorry I cannot show you guys that, because if I take it and flip it into the camera, the triangle spins usually. I don't know what it shows now. I'm gonna switch so I can see it better. Yeah, so yeah, and the camera is not sharp enough apparently. Yeah, too much light. So, but yeah, it's saying most likely. Desktop. There we go back here. So the 8 ball agrees with me, which would indicate, as said, that we get another move down. Question is, as said, or the one question would be, is this here our, so from here to here, our wave A, or is wave A technically done here with a truncated shorter 5th wave? We can see how it affects the target areas. Either way, however, the most likely, we should make a new low, which means we should at least touch the 50% line. And I think 61.8, what I've been saying since last week, I think 61.8 is where we go. Or I'm proven wrong. Somehow this is already the entire correction and I'm just too dumb to label it. Happens. And we're going up from here. Yeah. So in which case then we actually have then to consider something else. I know it gets a little bit crowded on the chart because why not add a gazillion different things? Where do you come from? You're this 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So it's nice to have the older elements on the chart because they obviously help with quickly, or not quickly, with understanding the pattern. But yeah, so, and you come from this, yeah, 1, 2, 561, wave 4. So if this is already the 4th wave finished, so I'm wrong, this is not going to be ABC, then we can see that we get target areas from 34 to 40. in which case this would be in some form 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and we keep going up. Yeah. If I'm right, then we would now first, as said, retrace down to the 61.8 retracement. And then our target area will be, for the fifth wave, will be 32 to 38. Yeah. So if we manage, I mean, if I'm wrong and we go up from here, then I will get my shares called away and I will miss out on around, I don't know, $6,000 in profit or so. So if we go to 40, for example, yeah. If I'm, however, right and we go down first, so A, B, C, then I might be able to get out of my options. I'm fine to hold them in that case till the end as well, because then it should play out nicely till January. But then I might be able to realize enough profit to justify getting out early and then actually sell $40 calls instead. But for that, I will anyway have to wait then for an upward movement. So either way, it's like, yeah, like the eggs haven't hatched yet. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it's frustrating. So it's like, the current situation is a little bit frustrating. We can get rid of this one for now because it's not relevant. Yeah, so far everything follows the pattern quite nicely. So just this part here, that center part, is a little confusing. I also don't like the idea, if this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, then this here doesn't nicely subdivide. I mean, visually it's one, so like A, B, C, it's a 3-wave move, but this move here is proportionally so much longer than this move, which I don't like. It happens sometimes, I've seen it in the NASDAQ once and so on, yeah, but it's not within our usual guidelines, which makes it then harder to follow, yeah. If we zoom in now, by the way, we probably see, yeah, so we have a corrective A, B, C move potentially here. There might still be more upside that proves me wrong, yeah. So, although visually we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we'll just, I don't know, we'll call it a day here. Like, so I'm gonna zoom out, we'll call it a day. We'll see how it plays out. It's not, I mean, it's not that I'm losing anything. We can see, even though it's going up and I would like it to go down, we're actually still profiting from it. So yeah, I mean, although that might be misleading, because if we're above 30, then obviously it increases the profit here, but our shares will get called away at 30 eventually if we stay above 30. So yeah, I wouldn't mind if the calls get exercised early. I honestly wouldn't mind if whoever bought those calls from me exercises them now, because I would then instantly sell $30 puts. And if we look at $30 puts, so for January 17th, we would be able to sell around 5 times 30, 1,500, so maybe even 6. So we would pocket $1,800 in premium for 30 days. So I really wouldn't mind, or even a little bit more, I really wouldn't mind if they get called away right now. But yeah, like, that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, so yeah, so Olga, thanks for stopping by. Have a great rest of the day. As said, like, long story short, we're just going to call it a day. Today, I'm not on top of my game. We'll need to see a few more candles on GameStop to either get some confirmation that makes me a clearer picture and confirms my current assumptions, or invalidates my current picture and forces me to reconsider. And as we saw in some of the other charts, especially NEO is not going the way I thought it. I mean, it actually goes the way I thought it would. It's just retracing now a little bit more than I expected, but it's still within valid parameters. And yeah, so we'll leave it at that. I wish you all a pleasant rest of the day. So I'm going to switch back here so you can again enjoy me in my full glory. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and enable notifications. Yeah. And as I said, we leave it at that. I hope you all have a pleasant rest of the day. May your trading decisions not be as confused as mine are today. And then see you all tomorrow with another episode of Daily Market Mastery. Till then, bye-bye.